disgusting.
Sweetie, you need therapy.
Yeah,
you don't
seriously.
need to be a battle rapper.
Yeah.
You need to go to somebody's therapy session.
Yeah.
Sit on a couch, prop your feet up, and unpack.
Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome to Tipping the Scales. I'm Sharon.
I'm Mari Jonte.
And today we'll be diving into some interesting topics, so stay tuned. Alright everyone, so the first thing we'll be talking about is this most recent battle rap that's been like topic of conversation this past week. So, Mari, how do you feel about it?
I'll take this one because this shit hit a nerve. So, the first time I saw it, I was actually on YouTube. I follow this woman by the name of Chrissy, and she posted the video on her page. Now, she prefaced her whole video with saying what it was about and all that shit. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even watch it that time because the things she was saying about it was making me just be like, you know what? I don't need that in my spirit today. I'm not even gonna do this. So that day, I chose to ignore it, but I just kept seeing it, and then I saw it on Facebook, and I actually sat down and watched the video. So I'll insert maybe a small clip. I don't know, I don't want to keep giving this video life, but just so you can have some context, I may post something, or just the lyrics of what he was saying. But just to sum it up, I wasn't even going to talk about it. The only reason I'm really talking about it is because I saw somebody say that they don't believe in colorism, or they don't think it's real, and they think it's in people's head. And I thought this was the perfect opportunity to speak on that because that makes no sense. So when you hear this man's words, right, and people could say let me just say this, I am so disappointed in black males as a whole right now, because all I saw as far as what they had to say about it was, oh, it's just a battle rap. That's what you do in battle rap. That's what it is. It's disrespectful. It's gritty. It's grimy. Listen, I get all of that, okay? I like a good disrespectful battle rap, but this was borderline pedophile language, which is just, it's taking too far. And it speaks more about your character than about you being a hard battle rapper. This man was talking about, first of all, an imaginary 6-year-old girl, okay? The kicker is the man he was opposing does not even have children, but he does, and they're dark-skinned girls. So the disconnect is just crazy. You can say, oh, it's just words. Sweetie, your words come from somewhere. You didn't just wake up one day and have this to say. Obviously, that type of language and those type of thoughts come from hundreds of years of enslavement and just you being brainwashed into thinking that this is how people of darker skin, which you are yourself, are supposed to be treated. It really it killed me. And the fact that you would sit up here and say that when you have dark-skinned girls, it's just crazy to me. And I already know what people's response to that would be, because there are a bunch of dark-skinned colorist men who'll be like, oh yeah, well my daughters, I tell them that I love my daughters, I tell them that they're beautiful. Sweetie, just because these are your children and you're talking to them that way, the same way that you speak to dark-skinned women who are not related to you, don't have none of, there are going to be people who speak to them just like that. And you can be the loudest voice you want as a parent. There are other people who are still going to impose those beliefs on them, just like you impose it on other women who have nothing to do with you. I'm gonna take a little breather because I can't. Sharon, what were your thoughts on this? Cause I'm getting a little worked up.
So she's the one that sent me the clip. I don't know very much about battle rap, but I can say that it kind of scarred me in a way, because I did not expect this to be coming from our black men.
I do.
I didn't. At least I don't allow myself to even see or entertain things like that. But just watching it, it was disgusting. Especially once she advised me that he has daughters that's dark skinned, and you're making up this imaginary rap against this guy saying that you have a light skinned daughter and she getting more likes than your daughter because she's dark skinned, and to think that your daughters are dark. So like that makes me wonder, like, how do you really feel about your children? Like, do you wish they were another complexion? Would you have loved them any differently? Like, what are you going to embed in their heads growing up? Because they're going to be dark-skinned women. The same way that you're saying that his daughter is going to be disrespected and all this other sexual shit. Like, I can't help but to think,
It's
like, what do you
so
think?
crazy because they literally think men like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna teach my daughter so well that they're not gonna allow themselves to be sweetie. Trust me, like it don't work like that. The world does not work like that. You can say whatever you want
To your child. Mm-hmm.
They watch actions. Children watch actions. They listen to you when you speak to other people, not just how you speak to them. It's about what you do in your everyday life.
And God forbid them seeing that clip when they get older. Like what? Like, I could only imagine my dad walking in this certain path, at least from what I'm seeing, and embedding all this certain shit in my head just to find out behind closed doors you like the front and put on and be disrespectful towards women, but you're trying to raise me.
He probably don't. Honestly, like, there was, no. Like, I highly doubt he portrays himself any differently because I saw, like, somebody else, like, put up a little clip of him basically reacting to people's reaction to him. And this one woman was like, oh, go write down everything you said and take it to your mom. And he was like, oh, my mama would say, oh, that shit fine, put it in a rap. And I'm like, oh, so your mom's trash too. Like, she's one of them. Like, she's one of them women who probably didn't think much of herself, didn't have much self-respect, let herself be treated a certain way or acted a certain way, and now you just hate women in general. Like, you just, it was very...
It was a lot of sexism in it.
Damaged goods.
Yeah, it's sad. Like, I didn't know what to take from it. I only, what was like 3 minutes of the clip, and it was, he did enough. And the fact that, like, I'm sitting here looking at the crowd, like, they're like egging him on, and I'm just like,
really, like it went
like
in.
they were,
like that
like
shit,
they thought
the bars weren't even good. I'm not gonna lie, I look at anything a little differently if something is actually good. It wasn't
good.
It wasn't good.
It was just a whole bunch of sexual slurs. That's it. A whole bunch
about
of
a made-up
disrespectful sexual
6-year-old
acts
child.
about a 6-year-old. And I'm just like, bro,
saying basically what you think a dark-skinned woman deserves based off of her being dark-skinned.
It's crazy.
It's sick. It's really sick. And then he said something about, like, which I'm not even gonna get too deep into this because this is a whole different conversation. When he was like, oh, your daughter's gonna have to learn how to fight because some bullshit. And it just goes to show you how, like, even dark-skinned men associate dark-skinned women with masculinities. But that's, like, a completely different topic. Because that shit is just very, very real. But it was just, the whole thing was just sick and weird. And you can say it's just words, Sweetie. Those words have been in you since whoever put them in you set up.
Started from somewhere.
It started a long time ago, and things are never just words. Like, it's never just words. It's never just a joke. Like, all of these things come from somewhere. And he said that shit with conviction. Period. Like, he was saying
he was confident, and I could tell by the way they was egging him on that he was like feeling himself, like getting cocky with it, like no kind of regret.
And he still don't. He still doesn't. And I mean, I don't expect him to.
It's crazy.
Looking at somebody like that, I could already tell what type of person he is, and he's a lost cause. But I don't. We're just like, those are the type of men, like, who need to be written off. Like, all of their ideologies and all of their colorism and all that shit need to die off with them. Like, it really it needs to die off with them.
They should have even banned the freaking video. Like, honestly, he doesn't even deserve a crowd. Like,
he don't deserve the circulation. All the women who are, like, under his page, under his comments, telling him how trash he is. Don't even give him that. Because every little view, every little click, that's still paying him attention. He don't need attention. He needs to die off. Period.
Seriously.
That's all.
So that's a wrap. No energy.
That's that on that. No energy, but I just had to say my piece on that because people, it just kills me how people really be like, oh, colorism is in people's head, but yet this man had a whole tragedy,
blatantly,
like a whole tragic life laid out for someone who's of a dark skin tone, like.
And then, like you said, the dude don't even have a daughter. Like, that's some shit. Like, he had to have a real built imagination of this shit, like, to make it feel real. Like, that's the crazy part. The dude don't even have a girl. So like,
and with that, at first I was like, how is he just sitting here with this man talking about his kids? Like,
exactly.
he don't have
He don't
none.
even have any.
He doesn't.
So that's just really how this dude feels, and
That's how he feels.
That's when he gets to vent. Like when he gets the battle rap, that's when all of it,
skeletons,
it
just
want to come
pours out, and then
disgusting.
you just want to hide it behind. It's just a battle rap.
Disgusting.
Sweetie, you need therapy.
Yeah,
you don't need to
seriously.
be a battle rapper.
Yeah.
You need to go to somebody's therapy session.
Yeah.
Sit on a couch, prop your feet up,
Yeah.
and unpack.
Yes, agreed. So what are we gonna take from this?
What we're gonna take from this is that men like this need to be left in the dust, and please stop procreating with these men. Like, stop procreating with these
Seriously.
men. Period. They will lay down and have sex with a dark skinned woman, and then you're gonna create a dark skinned child,
baby.
and then you're gonna say things like this, but say it doesn't apply to them.
Yeah.
We're not doing that
Yeah.
because we all know it's gonna keep the cycle going in one way or another, and we just need to let all of that hate and let all of that nonsense and all that brainwash mentality, it need to go with them, and
Yeah.
they just need to be left off to die.
All right, it's a wrap.
All right,
On
that's
one.
that on that.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. So our next topic is, how do you know you found the one? Is there the one? You know, is it just a fluke, or is it something that's destined? Who knows? But let's just get into it.
All right. So, as far as that goes, I don't really know if you'll really know until you've experienced it. Like, I feel like with life, like you have to actually personally experience to know if that person is the one for you. I don't know, like I was really diving into this because someone brought this to my attention. He asked me this, and I really didn't even know where to go with it because I'm like,
I don't either.
how do you know? Like, shouldn't you be asking a married person? Like, I just feel like you should be reaching out to someone more
because it's like,
experienced,
if you're
know?
married, do you even think
that
they're the
the
one?
one?
Like now you shaking shit up. Like, and you ask her, like, okay, do you think maybe there's a better fit, or you just found someone who is good enough? Like,
yeah, just enough. It's weird. It's weird. So I just wanted to bring it up because I'm just like, how do you know? Like, when you get to a certain age, you're ready to settle down, but like, what are these key factors that you look into to know if this person is fit for you, compatible for you? So, I mean, some things that I was thinking of just for my personal being, I'm thinking, this is someone you can't live without. Like, y'all are so in sync with each other that like, no matter what you do, you're considering them. You're so considerate of them. Because a lot of people, they don't consider their girlfriends or boyfriends in every aspect of their life. So if you feel like every time you move, you feel like you consider how would they feel about this action, how would they feel if I did this, or you're always
or is that just what considerate people do with everyone?
I don't know.
Because I've seen people who, that's just how they are.
Yeah.
Like, they act like that
For
when they're
anybody,
talking,
but-
when they're, you know, just boyfriend, girlfriend, when they're engaged.
Yeah.
Like, some people are just like
naturally
that.
like that. That's true. That's why I was coming from a personal aspect. I feel like I haven't got to that point where I just want to consider you at every aspect. I feel like if I finally found somebody, like that's something I would consider, because I'm to the point where sometimes I don't always want to be around a person, or I don't really care about their opinion about some shit. I'm still going to do me. But I feel like if they change my thought process, or I'm really that in sync with that person, maybe I would consider that person a little bit more in what I do and how I do things, to see how they would feel about it. So that's one thing. And also like priorities as well, because I mean, if you're not taking someone serious, or you're not feeling them like that, they're not gonna be a priority. So my thing is, besides God and my daughter, like if you're next in line, then that's what I would see it as. Like,
I guess it's when you change something that was different than what you're used to.
That's a good way to word it, because I feel like if
you just always been like that and you just doing it for everybody, then it's not really that much of a change.
Exactly.
But if you were a selfish person and now you find yourself being considerate, it's like, damn, maybe it's something about you.
That's
making me want to be this way.
Yeah, that's how I took it. But yeah, I don't really know how to answer that question. I really think that's for someone that's actually living that example. You know, a couple that's living that example. And like you said, who's to say that they're really that one and they're just, you know, they're just enough, like you said. So I don't know. What you think about?
Me personally, I don't believe that there is a one. To me, that's just a little naive. Like, there are 7 billion people in this world. Like, that's a lot of people. You literally can stay in one city your whole life and like you get married and you be like, I found the one. Bitch, how you know that? You ain't been nowhere. Like, you're one. Like, the person you really like, it could have been something different with. It could be in fucking Senegal. Like, you don't know, bitch. You've been in the same spot your whole life. So I don't think that it's realistic to be like, oh, you're the one person out of 7 billion who I'm supposed to be with. Yeah. I personally know that you can like have a special connection with many different people. Many different people on different levels. Now, are all those people gonna fit into your life the same way? No, but does that make them the one because maybe they are able to, maybe they don't live in the same, like just something as simple as that, like they don't live in the same place as you, and for that reason it didn't work, but you found somebody who you have a connection with as well that live in the same place as you and y'all are compatible geographically, but does that really make it any more special? Because it's like it's just convenient. That just makes it more convenient. Like, so me, I don't think there's a one. Like, I don't think there's a one. I think it's just it's happenstance. Like, things happen. You meet different people at different times. You could have met somebody who, you know, 10 years ago it didn't work because y'all were in different spaces in your life and y'all wanted different things, but now you could be with somebody who was at the time more ready for what you were, but now this person is at a different place in their life and you're looking at them like, damn, like I really still do care about them, and it could have worked now. It didn't work then. It's like if you would have just had the patience and the tools to make it work, then they could have been the one. So it's like it don't make sense to me to think that there's one person. And another thing for me is I believe somebody can be the one on paper, but when it comes down to a connection and compatibility, it don't add up. Like, somebody can mark off all the superficial things on your checklist, right? Like, oh, they need to look a certain way, they need to, you know, make a certain amount of money, whatever, all that type of shit. But when it comes down to like, do they laugh at your jokes? Do they get your sense of humor? Like, do y'all have a connection outside of just the basics? Like, I feel like a lot of people don't consider that as well, because I feel like a lot of people have relationships based off of a checklist. So that's something to consider as well. But your final thoughts, Sharon?
So I guess the final thoughts from this is there's no way to really know if you met the one. Like you said, like on a geographic standpoint, like you have not explored the whole world or talked to the 8,000 billion million people that's on the fucking planet. So you really don't know. I think in this world we just choose who's compatible for us and enough, just on convenience. So that's that. And
never settle for convenience.
Don't settle. Don't settle.
That's not it. Because I'm going to go to Senegal and I'm going to meet my African king.
Period.
And that's just that on that. That's my final thought.
All right.
And our last and final conversation will be a little recap of one of my favorite shows, which is Married at First Sight. Now, Sharon's new to watching this. I've been telling her to watch this damn show forever. She's been asleep on this shit.
I've been asleep.
I've been watching this shit since season 1. I've been very loyal. You know, I find it very interesting, first of all. But it's also very entertaining. So as a newbie, what are your thoughts on Married at First Sight?
I did not want to like it at first. I'm not even gonna cap. I did not want to like it, but I mean,
it's so good.
After Love Is Blind, I was like, why not be open?
She watched that
like,
trash
that is my fucking show. Don't come for Love Is Blind. But
it's
anyway,
trash, but it's good.
Love
it's
at First
trash.
Sight. I mean, Love at First Sight. It was very interesting. I think I should have started at the very beginning rather than close to the end. But I was on the 9th season, and it was pretty interesting just to see how it works with an arranged marriage. I feel like you're gambling whether it's an arranged marriage or meeting a stranger and getting to know them with a certain period of time. Like, just seeing how much these couples got to know each other in 8 weeks compared to just dating, you know, on your own, and I guess just randomly picking random ass people to get to know.
Out the club.
Like, I feel like they made more progress than you would dating someone in an 8-week period. That's just me. But anyways, it was pretty interesting. They moved at a way faster pace because it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to get to know you and marry you. It's like, no, I'm going to marry you. I'm going to move in with you. I'm going to see how you are living together in a home. We're going to really be married.
That's the one.
Like, we're going to be married.
Live with somebody.
Seriously, like, living, I feel like that made or broke a lot of these relationships. But anyways, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Alright, so just to give some context about what Married at First Sight is, it's a show where basically people have arranged marriages. They're not set up by family like it traditionally is in these type of circumstances, but they are set up by experts. They have a pastor, a sexologist, and a couples therapist, I believe. And they match these people based off compatibility and their hobbies, their interests, their values, their morals, etc. So I love this show. You know, I've always loved this show. I've been watching it since season 1, which came out years ago. I think like 2014, 2015. Just to give some kind of context on their success rate, I wrote a couple things down. So they have matched 34 couples, and 21 of those people chose to stay married on what they call decision day, and 9 couples are still married. So that gives them a 26% success rate. Now, some people might say that that's low, but when you look at the overall success rate of all marriages, which is 50%, and that's people choosing these people themselves, like, it's not that much lower when you really think about it. So to me, it's just like, are you willing to take the chance? Is it worth it enough to possibly get divorced like you could do when you meet someone yourself, to actually maybe find someone that you couldn't have found on your own? Like, is it worth that to you? So you really just have to decide for yourself whether it's worth it or not. If it is, then you got to take that chance. I might sign up for this damn show, okay? Even though, you know, I don't even want to get married like that, but I just want to see if they can really find me somebody who would be for me. And we would see how that goes, because they got to find a special person for me.
What? What? That would be interesting. Y'all need to let her on the show. If y'all watching somebody,
season 12, because they already started recording season 11. Recruit, okay? If not, then I'm going to Love Is Blind. But my final thoughts on Married at First Sight is just take the chance. Like, why not? You know, why not? I say why not? If you think the risk, you know, is greater than the reward, then it's probably not going to be for you. But if you're a person who likes to take chances anyway, I would say why not? You might just find the one.
Speaking of taking chances, we're gonna go speed dating, and this will be very interesting. We're gonna do some vlogs and get some footage. I think this is gonna be very interesting with us stepping out on a limb and trying new things. I mean, we said taking chances, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be more open to things, and we're gonna start doing other little experiments and social experiments like that. So y'all stay posted.
Keep us in your thoughts.
All right, y'all. Well, until next time,
we'll see you next week.
Movie talk. some of the most extreme controversial topics. So stay tuned.
Extreme?
I couldn't get my words out. That wasn't what I planned to say. Can we do it again?
1, 2, 3.
I'm cheesing too hard. Like my mouth not supposed to be open that fucking wide. Like, bruh, chill. Shit. Okay, my mouth is too wide. Like,
to get all this shit out, it's not even funny. This shit is so stupid.
my fucking eyeliner could be smudged.
Right.
Oh my God.
I'm trying not to fuck up my makeup. Like, this is ridiculous.
Like, who do we really want to be today? Like, bitch, choose a side.